This is Quest of Life. We are a not for profit offering free online peer support groups, and this is a demonstration of a facilitated group. So keep in mind that your experience might not look and or feel the same as this streaming group. Not every group can be the same, as every facilitator is different, and so are the group dynamics. That said, if you'd like to join a support group, you can join us through questoflife.org. And if you want to support us monetarily so we can run more free groups for more people, please also do that via our website, questoflife.org.
How's everybody doing? Oh no. It's fixed. Okay, the stream is fixed now. I had the previous overlay. Cool. All right. Yeah, how's everybody doing?
I'm feeling.
Oh, I completely
Sorry?
forgot to mention Tom's not here. I'm so sorry about that. Yeah, Tom is sick, so he will not be here today. All right, I'm so sorry. Marcin said CP. I don't remember what Rayman said.
I wanted to start, yeah, but Mars was already going, so probably continue if you have more to say.
I only have one word.
Okay. I'm overwhelmed, also tired. Still processing a lot of last week. That's how I'm doing.
This is not a check-in, just how we feel.
I don't know. If you guys wanted to be a check-in, cool. I was asking with the purpose of check-in, but yeah, I'm cool either way.
Well, that wasn't clear to me, so I guess I'll continue with. Yeah, last week a few things clicked for me. Also, I felt a lot more confident exploring this with some other people. I had a few good talks come out of that, and it's so nice to explore the insecurities that I have. It leads to a lot more confidence. Started a smaller project than I was planning to, just to like test the waters and see how that goes. I think last week has been a pretty good week. I don't want to bring up a topic this time because I'm still very much busy with last time.
You
Do I
pass?
pass? Okay. Yeah. Anne, you go next.
I'm also tired. I have something coming up that's very silly that's been keeping me up at night. And yeah, like the more I think about it, the more it makes me anxious. Which is, I'd have to get a quote from like a painter tomorrow, but on my own, just so we can gauge like pricing. In case they see my partner is white and up the price. But something about that I just really don't want to do it and don't want to deal with that, and it makes me very anxious. Yeah, other than that, the week was a little disappointing because I think I was starting to plan for work again, but a lot of things just started coming up as they always do, but I had forgotten that I need to put that in the back burner and prioritize the more important stuff. So it just felt like I had a lot of things to do that kept like fighting for priorities that I ended up doing not as much as I wanted to. I didn't prepare a topic. I'll think about it. Pam, do you want to go next?
Yeah. Um, I felt pretty disconnected throughout last week. And so I have been reflecting a lot and trying to figure out why I felt like that. Um, and I spent some time trying to connect more with people during the week, so that's what I have been up to. It has awakened different emotions that I'm working through. Um, so I guess I am at some point emotionally exhausted, but I am still, because I just have a undying curiosity and love emotions. So even though I am emotionally exhausted, I enjoy feeling stuff. So yeah, it's like low energy, but still like to feel stuff and experience emotions. So excited at the same time, and yeah, working through. Um, yeah, I think that's my week. And for a topic, I hmm, I do not really have a topic. I was joining thinking I could be low key today. Like participating, but not necessarily being too vulnerable today. Um, yeah, I will think if a topic comes up, but it's not that I prepared any. I will send it to Marsh.
I was trying to think about a topic and how was my week. Well, but it's a little bit difficult because I feel like I spent most of the week feeling sick. So then that's kind of all I can think about. Uh, and I don't know if I have a topic. I think work went well. A lot has happened in both my jobs, so not much to talk about there. But yeah, I think I'm also quite low key today, probably, because I don't really have a topic in mind. Pass it to Jake, I guess.
How was my week? Mm, I think my week was good. I didn't feel much despair. I think there was a lot of anxiety though, because I felt pulled to games, and then I'm like, I'm not sure if I actually want to be playing this. I just feel pulled by it. Um, Mostly a good week though. Yeah, definitely tolerable. Yeah, I think that's about it. Yeah, that's my check. Also, my cat threw up last night in the middle of the night. That woke me up. In the middle of my nightmare, which was funny. But yeah. Oh, also, random thing. My cat's been sleeping in my dryer for some reason. That's another random thing. But cool. Yeah, that's me. So,
New
no
segment.
topic.
At updates.
I think he's sleeping in the dryer currently. That is my update for my cat. So no topic. So from here, I know you guys have been posting. So for the viewers, we do have a place or a Discord server essentially, and there's a place where people post things they want to talk about eventually. So I was curious if you guys wanted to talk about any of those. Marcent and Pam are low key. Raymond is still dealing with last week, so that kind of just leaves Anne. So
I've no one to fight with. Yeah, I don't mind picking a topic from last times. Yeah, maybe the like I feel like I need to know. I feel so pessimistic about this topic. In like, I don't think it's gonna be a long enough conversation. I'm probably wrong, so let's go. Yeah, topic is I feel like I have to know enough to do something for other people, like to help other people.
What could an example be?
Example, business. If I think when like I'm thinking of like selling an offer, like a service. The feeling is I have to know in advance what I'm gonna do before I do it. Or if like the clients ask me something, I'm supposed to have an answer. But logically, I know that's part of the job is figuring it out. So I feel conflicted. And a little broader, I feel like this is getting better, but before it felt like if I didn't know how to help someone correctly, it's probably better that I didn't. Yeah, just I guess the fear is I'm gonna basically give someone bad advice and then they will like suffer consequences.
sounds like a lot of pressure.
I'm trying to understand how the math is not mathing. Because I'm like, what you're saying is like makes sense and valid. So where is the room for it to not be true, I guess?
What's the math you're seeing?
Yeah, it's like you were saying if you don't know something and then bad consequences equals I shouldn't have been involved. So like what's the argument against that? Because that seems pretty like valid in some point.
I think the problem is I don't know if I actually know something. My default is I don't know anything. But then there have been people who told me that, no, you do know about this. Like, you've been working at this for a long time. You've had a lot of experience. Like, give me evidence that maybe I do know what I'm talking about. but that feels wrong.
So is it like helping people with stuff that you should know about, but you're afraid of making a mistake that would not help them out?
Yeah.
To me, it sounds, well, to me, I heard that there are situations where people around you have told you you are able to know something, but in that situation, you didn't feel like, or it didn't come to mind what you were supposed to know in that situation. Is that understood correctly?
Yeah, I don't think it's a specific situation. Usually when I'm in it, it feels very doable. But like I'm anxious about it when it's not happening, when I'm not actively helping someone. And I think it's because I experienced two very different realities, so I don't know which one is correct. Uh, so where I grew up, the default is I don't know anything because I'm just a child. And so long as my parents are still alive, I am still a child. Hence, I don't know anything. So that feels. So that was my first reality. And then I started working with Americans and Europeans. And in this culture, it's. Oh, and it's specifically in my niche, I think because it started during COVID, where a lot of people came online to teach or build a business to do anything that they have just a little bit of experience in. Because the idea is whatever you know is probably going to be helpful for other people, even though you don't know a lot. A little bit is okay. Which now gives value to limited experience, which directly goes against what I grew up with. Like my little bit of experience shouldn't be valuable, shouldn't help anyone because it's just a little bit. It's probably lacking a lot. Um,
So I have a question. Is that a feeling or thought, or are they connected?
is that a feeling? It's more like a feeling, like conflicted.
Hmm. So am I correct to see that it feels inadequate, but logically you have the knowledge?
Yeah, so I think the feeling is from where I grew up is, yeah, I feel I don't know anything. Yeah, but now I'm told something else.
So is the conflict between choosing between logic and emotion?
Yeah. Yeah. I guess I would
So
like to hear what everyone's opinions are on the logic. Is that sound logic, or that whatever little experience you have is probably helpful enough for other people?
I think it makes sense to me. I don't know how accurate it is what I'm thinking of. Like when when I grew up, my dad wanted to include me in some like projects, but whenever I helped, it wasn't good. So, for example, like with woodworking stuff, I would have to screw in screws, but I wouldn't hold the screwdriver tight enough, the electric one, and so I would ruin the screw. And then my dad would get very upset, which made me feel like I knew nothing as a kid and I shouldn't even bother trying. But like after I got a college degree, I got put out there as if I was the expert and everybody should be listening to me. I like that's what my experience was. I don't know how well it connects.
You have thoughts about those two experiences? They feel
Yeah, so
conflicting now?
yeah, like so from what you are telling me that when you grew up, you feel like as a kid you didn't really know much and your parents knew everything. But now that you're a business person and you have to like talk to other people, you have to be knowledgeable. But it's still like the same mentality holds up where like you're the new kid on the block, like you're entering the space, but everybody's looking at you as if you should be knowing everything. If that doesn't quite connect, just correct me.
Yeah, I think it like the big stroke, the big picture is there. There are like some details that hmm. So what you said was so it stopped resonating when you said like my parents know everything. Uh but that is now also part of the logic. Okay, I don't know where this is going, but I continue.
I can go next. For me, it depends on what subject or what the thing is that the help is providing. Like, um, like it depends in what complexity or depth the help is needed in. So something, just knowing how to do a thing is enough. But in, for example, guidance that are more complex, it is nice to know or get advice from people that have experience and can tell you what consequences are or what the big picture is. So the help and the experience of the needed help depends on the situation. But to answer your question, yes, you can help people with little experience as long as you have more experience than the person you're teaching.
Okay, now it's a little bit more clear, more like specifically conflicting. um I guess my question would be, how do I know that what I know is good enough?
My take on that would be it would be to decide what the factors are of enough.
Okay. My brain is trying to go on a tangent.
Sure.
Yeah, because I'm following the logic and it's making sense again, but then my feelings are like, no, something feels risky about this. Like, specifically, I'm really averse to giving advice or teaching someone something. Or like being like the authority figure and making a decision that I don't have like direct stake in. Like if this is like my company, I'm comfortable making decisions, but if it's someone else's, there's always uh, yeah, where did I want to go? Risk. Okay, I don't know where it's going, but I'll tell you what's going on. I'm remembering, uh, well, I grew up with a lot of authority figures. So that was my parents, Asian parents, and all of the teachers, and they were all abusive. So, and I think when I started to be in like my late teens, I started to feel that like rebellion that like I don't quite trust the advice or the power that people use to tell me what to do anymore. So I think that's the feeling I'm trying to avoid now, making other people feel if I'm trying to tell them what to do. Um, like I don't want to become my parents and my teachers.
And
Yeah.
do you get that feeling in the situation you're describing? Like, in
Uh,
a yeah, sorry.
continue.
I was just more trying to clarify, like if that's the feeling you get when you bring up the confusion about helping others with little knowledge. If I understood correctly from the beginning.
I think so. And I think it makes sense wherein. Okay, my brain is thinking of because I'm afraid of doing this. Usually, when I try to help people, I really position myself as like a. I always start with the like from my perspective, or this is what I think. Like it's very hard to tell somebody like how a teacher would teach. Like here is the information. I wouldn't present it that way. I would say, well, I think, or like I heard this from ABC. Um,
So what I'm understanding is that if a teacher said, roses are always red, it's like an authority telling the fact, where you would state, I see red roses.
yeah.
And there's a feeling of not wanting to push an opinion or some facts down to people.
Yeah.
But do
That
you want to, I guess? Is that the job itself or not the job itself?
It is the job.
could there be other perspectives of the people hearing what is said? Like, I don't think pupils in a class think the teacher is shoving facts down their throat, as it sounds to me like it's perceived.
Is that a question for me? Like, if the other students probably had a different perspective? I don't think so.
Okay.
Maybe in other countries, um, specifically the culture in Vietnam, I don't think so.
How do you know if a source is true or like trustworthy?
evidence. Yeah, and how strong the evidence is.
Like people telling you that you need to shove facts down their throat, or like where do you gain the evidence?
Where do I gain the evidence? Okay, the last question I answered didn't feel like related, probably because it's in a different timeline. So I'm thinking of at school, at least my teachers, it seemed very like that they didn't teach. They kind of supervised our studying, so we were supposed to just read up, understand, write down what they wrote on the board, and if we did any of those wrong, then we would be yelled at and beaten, and like shamed. So it didn't feel like they were. I mean, they said I'm telling you, like I'm teaching you information, but it didn't feel that way. Uh, so I guess now as an adult, when I hear people, if they tell me something also with that confidence, my first reaction is I feel like I have to listen and I have to believe what they say. Only after, when I'm not in that fight or flight mode anymore, that I can start thinking about, okay, what did that person say? Like, why did they say that? Is that something like trustworthy or yeah?
Yeah, it makes sense to me to hear. Like, that is definitely a rough way to teach people things. It's like, from my experience, it's not working because then they're just scaring people to accept what they're saying. Yeah, just take it in as a fact without even questioning it. And that definitely sounds brutal.
Hmm. Yeah. So I guess from that, I'm thinking of there has been some people that I help, like professionally, and if I can just see their body language like similarly to how I used to feel, I get very anxious about what I'm saying. Uh, like I don't want them to like agree with me to make me happy. I want them to ask questions and like, yeah.
Hmm. So is it more
Yeah.
there the problem lies? Like that's the
Yeah.
conflict that's stirring up things in like of other words.
Yeah, so now I'm projecting what I experienced on other people that I'm helping, that I think that they're scared of me. Or just try to make me happy.
I'm sorry, Jake, you were saying something?
Yeah, I was just saying that this makes sense, and there's like a compounding effect that happens. Like Anne tries to say something, and then this person gets distressed, which causes Anne to get distressed, and then now, like the conversation is not about the like original meeting. I guess it's more just stress.
Sorry, in this group or like in the topic?
Now, in the example that she was giving,
Okay.
around like the person, if she sees that they are reacting in a way that would be similar to how she would react to like authority figures, it like compounds. Like if they have that response, she will get like really ashamed and like stressed, anxious.
What's the body
Ashamed.
language like indicating to you?
Can you ask that again?
What's the body language indicating to you?
Uh, that they see me as an authority figure in a bad way, in a way that I experienced authority figure.
Like scared of you in a sense?
Yeah. Or like ashamed for not knowing.
What would you wish for to happen in those situations?
Do I wish for? Well, I know usually in that situation, I backpedal. And I would like try to validate them so that like I'm hoping that they wouldn't feel like they're wrong and I'm right because I know better. Um, I want them to maybe like see it as I do it this way. Maybe if your way isn't working, maybe try it my way. And if it doesn't work, then we'll come back and we'll find a different way. Yeah, just trying to diminish the negative feelings that they might be feeling. I don't know if they even feel that way.
I guess I want to point out something that at the start of the conversation, it was about uh, how much is enough? Like, how do I know if I know enough? And it seems like the conversation has drifted to I actually know more than I do, but then if I say it, then it would have a bad effect on people. So I just want to point that out because I'm a little bit confused on where we are at and why is it correlated in some sense.
Think it's connected very vaguely and blurrily in my head as well. But the like knowing enough as in like when I'm talking to someone, like consult them on something and it's going well, nothing happens. When this happens, when they seem to be in distress, I start attacking like my own knowing not enough or enough. Like I start spinning, making this make sense. Like, why would they be feeling this way? Am I not supposed to say what I just said? Because I don't know anything. I just know some things. So it's like, yeah, what my brain does.
Yeah, so the other person is scared and ashamed, but then it seems like at the same time, they're doubting your ability.
I'm doubting my ability. I think I'm shaming myself. Like, how dare you make this person feel this way? You don't even know anything. Like, how can you? Yeah.
I'm curious what Jake has to say because it's like for me it makes sense, but I don't have the words to write it out. It's like for me, I see that it is emotion, like it's a reaction to emotions, and it makes sense how you would react as you do from what I know you have told how you saw things in the past. As you also said yourself, you think you might be projecting, and that projection might cause some reactions for you to happen, but you're not able to see your reactions playing out, but you know they're there. And you feel them, but you can't really see them because you're reacting in the situation.
Yeah, I don't think I was aware of this before. I just talked about it now. Um, mm.
You. I was going to word that very strangely. What would you like me to give my thoughts slash perspective on?
Mm. I think trying to reflect back what we might see and is feeling or experiencing in the situation.
Before
Mm,
Jake goes, I'm gonna forget something, so it's just a one-liner.
please.
I think it's hard because you are reacting in a way that you wanted your power of authority to react. Like you wanted them to like not be so confident in like what they're saying and actually like think about it. It's like, oh, maybe there's a potential that I was wrong. Thus, you're doing the same thing because you're like, maybe I'm wrong. So then I'm not doing the same thing onto another person because that's what I wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually have points 1A to that. Because when you do notice you are doing something wrong, you punish yourself similar to how they did. Yeah, it's very critical, and it's just this is wrong, period. And it's like kind of berating. As far as what Anne is feeling, I guess I'll just list emotions. So when the scenario A and then scenario B. Scenario A is when Anne is uh it is a non-stressful environment. So the other person is receptive to the information. In that case, it seems like everything's actually chill, and Anne doesn't like question her knowledge of anything, and like no insecurity, no inadequacy comes up. Everything's just chill. But if scenario B, which is person either questions it or starts feeling anxious by her answers or something happens, in that scenario, there's a pretty sharp hurt, uh, maybe rejection, shame response. There's maybe exposure too. I think there's just a lot of emotions in like the fear camp, and maybe other ones, but those are the ones off the top of my head. Very distressing too, obviously. Um, I think there is also a sense of like submission, because that's kind of what happened in the past, but it's another one. Yeah, those are my thoughts on what's going on so far. Yeah, it's interesting that you only question if you're doing something wrong if the outcome is bad. If it's good, then actually everything's fine. There's no questioning at all. Everything's perfect.
And it feels like good and bad is decided upon the reaction of the other person. So then enough is dependent on how other person feel, which is even harder because in business consulting, how the client feels is like the most important thing. So Therefore, even though you might give really sound advice, like the other person reaction is everything.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm feeling a lot. Um, I don't think I've processed like the school stuff enough. Uh, and I thought the most interesting feeling from that list is shame, because I don't recall ever feeling shame. Um, and so now that shame is telling me, like, how dare you do this? Like, how dare you do this job? How dare you do anything? You don't know anything. Which comes from, uh, I think when I dropped out of school, it was, well, basically like accepting that my parents and everyone in my community disowning me. So at that point forward, it felt like everything that now I decide to do, I have to take like full responsibility for it. Because otherwise people would tell me, like, I told you so, like, you should have done what I said to do. But now you're doing this and you fail, it's on you. You shouldn't have done that. We knew it. We told you.
That sounds really heavy to carry.
Yeah, she's like one evidence of like not enough or wrong kind of overrides history of like they are completely right about everything about me. Why do I even bother and try? Because I am not good enough. Like this is the evidence to like support their argument. And I think that is really heartbreaking because like you're trying your best to be a rebel to argue against it, but at the same time they checkmate you if there's evidence for their argument. So you have to be always right and always correct in order for it to not happen.
So hard for me to stay in this hurt because my brain keeps trying to go some other places. Yeah, like how interesting it is that uh this is like the feeling I feel when somebody reacts badly in like in a session is from this, like from all of my life previously. Um, yeah, and also it was interesting to think about how like my success so far in my uh, early adult years have been motivated by this, by not letting other people say I told you so. So it's not for me, it's just to do this.
Do you want to sit with it together? Just giving it space?
No.
Okay.
I'm starting to feel very uncomfortable. And yeah, it's gotten so heavy and yeah.
Mhm. It's fair. I respect that. I can tell you for me, it's okay. I'm okay with it, but I'm hearing you would like to do something else. Do you have anything in mind?
I don't know. Any thoughts? Take us somewhere else.
I was going to troll and says like, they have told you so, or I have told you so. And I was like, nah, that's probably too much.
Yeah.
I think it is overwhelming. That's why you're overwhelmed. And I think there is a lot of hurt here. And it's fair to want to uh like it being very uncomfortable is congruent to me.
Mm.
But if you still want to like sharp pivot, I'm cool with that too.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it because I know, like, one, I wasn't prepared for this.
Yeah.
Um, and then two, I feel most uncomfortable because I think if I sit in this feeling, I would like to say a lot of nasty stuff. It's just out of anger or against
Mm,
like the situation. Yeah, like I wouldn't be understanding of the people who have said this to me or have treated me this way.
yeah. You need to be understanding towards them. I'm very curious about that, and I also want to respect your consent. So, where would you like to go? Because I was planning on asking,
No,
like, yeah,
uh, ask me. I'm back. I'm back in. I just go slow.
it's a good thing or a bad thing?
I don't know. Let's find out. I
Yeah,
want
I
to
just
now,
want.
just not ram into it.
Cool.
Like sitting with it is ramming into it. But if we're just talking kind of around it and then getting into it slowly, then I'm okay with that.
Okay. Uh, yeah, I'm just curious about the anger towards them and like, yeah, there's the anger towards them, what you want to say, why you have to be so understanding of abusive people. Just I'm just curious of like the ground, like the territory.
Mhm. Because everyone has told me so, to be understanding of my parents. And by everyone, I mean every Vietnamese person I've talked to, including a therapist that I paid too much money for.
I think you need to be understanding is such a half-ass response to anything. Like, oh, you don't understand math? Well, try to understand it better. It's just you can't do anything with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like I've done the understanding part, very much understand, but my part, like the anger part, nobody has understood me. Yeah, very dismissive.
Yeah, and it would make sense to me why you would struggle showing that part as well, because usually the world says if you are angry, then you are not understanding. Like these two things cannot coexist.
My brain is playing this out. If I am angry at my parents in out and about for everyone to see, the feedback I will get is that I am ungrateful. That my parents have done all the other stuff for me. Or that everyone else has grown up fine. What is wrong with me?
This is making me feel quite a bit, so I want to check in with everybody else. How's everybody feeling hearing this?
To me, it feels unfair that you have to be the one that has to be understanding all the time, and that nobody wants to understand you. Like that feels so unfair. That makes me angry. And also, like, it also feels lonely to have like such a big disagreement with how everyone else around you operates. Like, like the way that you want to treat people feels like such a better, like a more friendly, more cooperative, better way of doing things. And to have like everybody disagree with that and tell you that like, oh no, it's wrong, you're wrong. It, yeah, it just makes me feel lonely as well.
I'm kind of cold and distant towards this topic, not because I don't relate to it, but I think there's like a cold anger about it. Because it doesn't even logically make sense. Like if a really nice person who donates to charity stabs somebody, like you still stab somebody. Like you're still a murderer if the person died. But the story itself is like telling the person who is the victim, like, no, but he donated a lot to charity. It's like I lost a leg. Like, what do you mean? Like that doesn't even logically make sense. So then it just makes me like angry, but like in a place of like that doesn't make any sense. This is like you're enabling this person behavior more than anything.
Yeah, to me, it's also think I can feel anger boiling within me, but I resonate a lot with like the voices and talking that Anne is telling me, like telling. So I am in a space where I'm not really able to express my anger as well, but it's there. Um, like not as well, but for me, I'm in a space where I'm not able to express the anger due to my own writing and fears. But I just wanted to tell you that it's there. I'm feeling angry on your behalf for what I'm hearing you have experienced.
I think it's hard too because it's binded with your desire to be understood. So you want to do the same for other people, even though they're like the perpetrator, you still want to understand them because that's the same understanding you want to have. Because they're technically being treated the same way if you don't understand them. But how are you feeling, Anne? Is it overwhelming?
Yeah.
But I would say in the case that you said, Marsh, then if there was, or like in my opinion, if there was a full understanding, the full understanding would also know that anger is a valid emotion and it is okay to showcase anger and have empathy towards an angry response.
Then it's not okay. for the parents to be angry. So now there's a complicated relationship with anger.
Hmm.
Feels overwhelming in like, well, this was my whole like 20 years of my life uh, that I've sealed off and put away. Once in a while, I'll take it out and like express my opinions, and I will get this kind of, well, not this, but the other stuff, like you're ungrateful and what's, oh, then I'll seal it more, put it back. So now that I'm sharing this and you're given your perspective, we're effectively unsealing this, and so it's just like 20 years of stuff just onto me. Feels very, yeah, like I guess I haven't really looked at it because it wasn't safe to look at it.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I think it's hard to look at it because looking at it was a taboo. And even talking about it, expressing hurt about it, all of these things are like not allowed. Your emotional reaction is like a sign of ungratefulness, also.
Yeah.
Which is fucked up because, like, how is being in touch with how you feel? It's something of a privilege than like a norm.
Interesting saying, because in my mind, it is a privilege that I get to feel my feelings. Because the logic is other people, I don't know, like they have other stuff more pressing going on. They can't think about how they feel. They just have to deal with it and survive and do whatever.
It's like I understand, I just don't know what to say to it.
Yeah, I was gonna ask Jake if you have a direction.
How do I word this? Is there something further you would like from the conversation? Because to me, this feels good.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't think of anything else.
Cool. Before we Marcent, I see you're reacting.
Just
You're animating.
disapproval.
No, I was thinking, should I call it out or not? I was like, "Oh, okay, I'm just gonna leave it up to fate." But yeah, it feels like we're trying to quickly move on, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Well, when I say we, I mean and, but like that's okay.
Yeah, I think because I'm uncomfortable again.
Yeah, which is why I'm like, I think it's okay to also move on if we want to, but I'm like, that's why I'm like, I'm not gonna say anything and see what happens.
I think I'm uncomfortable in that every time I tell you something that you didn't ask, it makes me feel like I'm asking for too much. Like I'm asking for you to listen to too much. So I don't want to like start a thing. But if you have questions or thoughts, I'm happy to engage.
Do you want to start a thing? Do you have a thing in mind?
No. Or at least my brain doesn't want me to go there.
Yeah. I need to think. I'm cool if you guys continue or not.
Yeah, it feels like one part of you is saying yes, and then the other part is saying no.
Yeah, now I'm curious about why, like what that feeling is that I feel like I'm asking you to listen to too much.
Yeah, I'm unsure what it is, but when you originally said it, I'm like, I could foresee that being a very crushing thing that makes it very hard to ask for help. And I could see like, or I could foresee a pattern of any time that emotion pops up, it just like suffocates your wants and like what you actually want from a conversation.
The only thought I have is like, oh, poor me, because there's more. But then the more I share, the more it feels like that. That like yeah, I guess I can justify like why you have to hear about this.
Well, my response is that we don't have to, but I want to support, and I know sharing um, and talking can be a form of support, and I want to support.
Yeah, I think that kind of support is hard for me to access because usually, like, I know when I'm sharing I'm trying to figure something out, which I'm more comfortable with you supporting me in that way. But if your support is just to listen because I want to share, then that feels wrong.
May I suggest unusual? Like
Suggest what?
what like it feels unusual or not something you're used to,
Oh,
instead of calling it wrong, but it's fair that that's how it feels to you.
oh, that it's uh wrong to be listened to.
I'm hearing to you it feels wrong that you want to share and are not used to being heard when you share your emotions. And that feels wrong to you. to share
Yeah.
your emotions, and when you want to share it and feel like you're telling people you want them to listen to what you have to share, it feels wrong.
Yeah.
And my response to that was, may I suggest it might not be wrong, but feel unusual.
Oh, I see. It does feel wrong.
And that's fair.
More wrong than unusual. Yeah, I think because I mean, like already, nobody ever wanted to hear what I had to share because it didn't matter. And then now, in the last couple of years, I tried to reconnect with my mom because she seems to want to change to like have a relationship with me. And this was where we hit a patch again, where when I started sharing my perspective of what happened, and whenever I hit a feeling that I feel, well, my mom couldn't hold that space, so she would do something else, and basically not listen. So I think I internalized that as if the person who is involved directly does not want to hear about this, it would make sense that you guys have no stake in this. Like, why would you want to hear about this? It's just very heavy and have nothing to do with you.
Do you want me to answer that question?
Can I do a rhetorical before that?
Mm-hmm.
In a sense, like, why would we care?
Yeah.
Or why would anybody care? Not just about this problem, but like, why would anybody care about how I really feel and care about me?
Yeah, and you like wanting people to care is ungrateful. How dare you?
This has made it very weird for me as I grew up. Like in my early 20s, I started to notice um, that I didn't know how to care about other people's lives. Because I realized I just didn't care. Because nobody taught me by caring about me or let me care about them. So my worldview was very odd. Like nobody cares about anyone. And there are motivational quotes that come from that. uh, yeah, so now whenever I see some random things like people like YouTuber reacting to Reddit stories, it still feels very weird that this random person on the internet cares about a stranger's story and like think about it and have a conversation about it. Just like the caring still feels very unusual for me.
It is strange to me that you live in a world where people didn't really care about you, but how like you know how bad that feels, and also you were forced to care about other people. How did you land on that it's the right thing to do to care for other people? Like, were you forced into it, or do they like genuinely believe that it's like the correct thing to do?
I don't think I cared for other people. I took care of people, and it was forced on me because I was such a child. Mm. So, be it like taking care of my younger sibling or uh, like my parents' emotions, because they will directly affect like my survival, uh, or like my teachers. Yeah.
Yeah, and because it's such a one-way street where you have to care about other people, that's also why it feels so wrong that we are caring about you right now.
Yeah, I would make the distinction between caring for other people and taking care of other people. I took care of them. I didn't care for them. Um, Also, I don't think I could have, because if I asked like how was your day or like how did that go, it was usually a negative response, or they just didn't know how to respond to that because they also didn't learn how to care about other people's days.
So now you also have to take care of the clients with your job.
Can you make connect the dots for me?
It's still a little fuzzy for me, but I'll do my best. So growing up, you were forced to take care of other people, and in school, um, you were forced to give the right answer. So now that you are in a job where you have to go to clients in order to explain something to them, if they are willing, then there's no problem. But if there's, well, yeah, if they're unwilling, then this leads to a very confusing place where, on the one hand, you have to give the correct answer, but also you have to take care of them, which might lead to like a very weird conflict. And there's a lot of like missing information there as well, because, well, they are feeling something that they're not explaining to you either.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering how, I guess, the calculation takes place. Like, which one is going to win over the other one? Like, is it the first priority to take care of someone, or is it more important to give the correct answer?
My brain goes, giving the correct answer is taking care of that person.
Did you always give the correct answer to your parents?
Don't think so.
I don't know if that like disagrees with what you just said.
No, it's an answer. I don't think like, I'm sure I was right a few times. I don't recall ever giving my parents a correct answer. Um, yeah, and not lately. I don't really talk to them. I don't. Yeah. Yeah.
Another one-liner popped up, but I don't know how true it is. I was like, maybe it's a presumptuous. But the thing that popped up was, it feels like you try to take care of yourself by giving yourself the correct answer.
Oh, I need more explanation.
Yeah, like if you're able to do everything right, if you're able to have the right answer for everything, then in a way you took care of yourself because you won't feel a certain way about yourself.
Interesting perspective.
And then other people also won't react in weird ways, then you are able to protect yourself and take care of yourself if you're right all the time.
Yeah.
And I wonder how you feel when you're not able to be right and not able to take care of yourself and protect yourself.
My brain is stuck on the word correct. More of a good enough. So I think I figured out how to give the correct answer is to give my perspective's answer. So that's always going to be correct. It's not universally true. But yeah, like sometimes that's not good enough. And then how do I feel then? Yeah, very. I don't know what that feeling is, but I questions my whole life. Like, why am I doing this? Like, what am I doing? Do I want to keep doing this? Should I do something else?
Disappointment towards yourself or something different.
Yeah.
Sounds like defeated too. Just kind of like done with it. Like I'm tired of dealing with this.
Yeah. I've written so many business plans because of this. Every time this happens, I would start reimagining my whole life and then come up with some new ideas. So like reworking some other ideas. So I just have ideas logged. Yeah, which is very tiring.
How much of your motivation for your job is based on this?
Motivation just for my job is based on this. This as in
How do I word this?
Not being a disappointment.
mm, a lot. Interesting.
Hmm.
Hmm. Yeah, I always wondered. Like, I know there's something wrong with how I got to working this job. As in, keep burning out and like having trouble. And the best I could think of was because I did this to like from like uh Oh, to spite my family and the people who said I'm doing it wrong. So that's not a good motivation. But this adds another dimension to it, which is, yeah, I don't think, because now I'm thinking, what if I'm just gonna become a broke artist? I don't think I can live with the disappointment of myself. That feels very unbearable for some reason.
Yeah, it feels really tragic that everybody has failed you and then now you also fail yourself too. Then you have nobody.
That resonates.
I see that we're close to 30 minutes mark, so I don't know. Just want to point that out.
Hmm. I was gonna say, but I don't want my life to be tragic anymore.
I think it's hard because I think the more you don't want it to be tragic, the more you have expectation of yourself, the more you disappoint yourself, and the more you feel tragic about it.
Yeah. I'm stuck in a loop.
Yeah, a lot of pressure. And every time you try to get out of the loop, it's just like it reinforces that like I'm all alone and like plus I'm a disappointment. Like I can't figure this out. And it just seems like a very lonely, ruthless cycle.
Yeah, another line popped up like, other people don't like me, don't really care about me. And now I start to not like me and not care about me. They don't want to see me, and I don't even want to see myself. If things doesn't work out. If things work out, like things are good. Like I'm okay with seeing myself. But if things doesn't work out and the plan doesn't go well, then like there's this abandonment thing there. Until you figure something else out.
Yeah, like success is the only way to actually be on your side.
Yeah. Something about success being the solution doesn't sound so bad.
Yeah, it feels like currently revenge and redemption is more important than self-care. Like caring about yourself and how you feel, etc.
Yeah. Yeah, it was very important until a few years ago. I started closing that chapter. So now, yeah, I think I'm like trying to transition out, but I don't know how else. That's the only thing I know is to prove people wrong by succeeding. I don't know how else to live my life.
So you get stuck
I
in a
think it's
cycle.
hard. Like it's hard to transition to that because there's so much grief of people not caring. And if you're successful, then people will care and people would finally agree and understand where you're coming from. It's hard to like let go of like changing their minds in some sense.
Yeah, I think that's why I'm transitioning out because I cut those people off. As in, if I succeed, they would know. So then there's just less motivation there.
But you would know. I think that's the problem.
Uh, maybe.
And you can't cut yourself off. So this person's always watching, right? On how the story went.
Okay. Ugh. So I cut them out, but I represent them. Conclusion, it's hard.
I'm not sure why my mic keeps lighting up like that. Since we are low on time, I want to do a check-in with everybody about any final thoughts for Anne, plus, or just about the conversation, plus just how you're feeling or anything along those lines. Pam, you start.
Okay, I can start. Um, I am in a space where I'm listening intensively. Like, I think I resonate a lot, so I am gaining a lot from just listening. Um, I am feeling grateful for the session. I think we went deep, and Anne was great at asserting herself and communicate where she was and what she felt comfortable with. Um, so all in all, I enjoyed it and resonates a lot. So yeah, I feel like we have come to points where it felt like we hit a mark and it like seemed like we were coming to sections where new insight was unfolded for Anne, and we will manage to be there and talk about them. And I appreciate that a lot. It also gave me insights. So, yeah, all in all, I'm at a point where I'm just feeling grateful and I guess I would say connected as well. I will send it to numbers.
I'm still deep in thought. I felt pretty slow this session. Like I had to put in a lot of effort to try and keep up. Um, there's a little bit of sadness that I feel with like I know how frustrating it is to have to overcome disappointing other people and yourself, and like the amount of stress and weight on your shoulders to like keep pushing through everything and find the motivation to do this function. Um, I myself have gotten a few new insights as well, and it looked like you did as well, and yeah, I hope that you can turn that disappointment into internal approval for yourself, that you don't have to deal with that anymore. Mars, you're next.
Before you go, Mars, I was a bit curious about what thoughts you were deep into, Raymond.
Especially the last thing that came up, where like I don't want to disappoint myself. Like that really resonated with me. Like when I'm thinking of like the project that I was talking about last week, when I'm thinking of like how little acceptance that I've gotten and support I've gotten, I do think that like me becoming a programmer was definitely a move of me uh, seeking approval of my dad. And me not being a programmer right now is me moving away from the disappointment. And like the reason why I stopped caring about what my dad thinks of me is because I've moved away from that disappointment. I feel like this connects to a whole lot more things, which is what I'm thinking of.
Thanks for sharing. Mars.
I think oftentimes what we don't like about ourselves or what like the expectation we have of ourselves comes from some sort of like rupturing of relationship with other people we really care about. So they would say like, you know, you need to do better at this. Then that becomes internalized, right? Like if I'm better at this, then our relationship would be good. If I'm successful, then I can make them understand. If I have rite of passage, then like things would be good. And that kind of gets internalized, becoming like a duty or mission of the person. Uh, and I guess how I feel about today's session, I think I always start off very slow and low key. So every time I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna be low key today. I'm not gonna think too much and tired or whatever. And halfway I kind of becomes more energized and activated. So perhaps it's what I say at the beginning is usually not trustworthy, which is what I notice as well in terms of a pattern. And I just felt like this was a great session. And I don't think you were thinking slow, Raymond. I just think we were going quick. Probably that was what's happening because we were diving into a lot of layers of Anne. And yeah, it resonated a lot with my past as well on how I felt about certain things. So appreciate it. Passing it to Anne.
Yeah, I'm grateful for you all listening. Whatever pace you were listening at, because yeah, like as you know, I really didn't expect you to listen at all. I was very worried when I started because I was also tired, and I felt like the way I was getting into it wasn't clear enough. I felt like I was going everywhere. And so I was very impressed by how much you were following and making it make sense with me. Yeah, so I appreciate that. And I don't know how today went. Usually, yeah, if I'm in the house seat, I have no idea what just happened. So I will have to rely on your feedback and maybe rewatch it. But thank you for the session. Yeah, I have more things to now ponder about and process. How about you, Jake?
So do I have any final thoughts for on? Hmm. I don't think it makes a person ungrateful for feeling anger or hurt towards a person. That's probably my one of the thoughts. As far as how I'm feeling about the session, I'm feeling good. I feel. What is that emotion? Happy and warm that we were able to support Anne, um, because it sounds like she doesn't get much actual support, and that makes me feel, I don't know, proud maybe? Not sure. That's how I'm feeling. Cool. Can one of you guys see if there's anything in the Twitch chat?
There is a question of Minecraft coaching. What do you wish people asked about?
I assume that's directed at Anne, or is that for
There's
everybody?
no name for it, so I'm assuming yes, but
Maybe we take turn.
we could.
I wrote it down earlier.
What you write
Yeah,
down?
just the more. Oh, I was looking for it. Just stuff around feeling hurt, and how not being enough feels, and how it feels when you try to take up space and people reject you. Stuff like that. Raymond.
No.
Or I'm cool with it.
Oh, I'll go first because now I'm just thinking about question. What would I like to be asked about? Everything. Actually, yeah, that reminds me. I really like and enjoy dating because of this one thing that people ask me about me. It's like the only situation where I'm for sure gonna get asked things. Raymond.
There's a lot of resistance to this question for me. What do I want people to ask me about?
Oh, is it about us specifically? I thought it was about Anne.
Oh, what do I think? I am confused now.
The chat
Like-
wasn't clear, so I said maybe we can just take turn and answer that question for ourselves.
Oh, I answered it for. I'm just gonna leave that there. We're already over in time.
Yeah, I think the answer for myself would be I wish people asked me about nothing. If I were to answer for Anne, I would probably ask about like the thought process of like when she wants to like give an answer, to ask about like why that is the answer, to like dig into the understanding that she has. Pam.
No, for me, about asking, it's I like to be asked about my emotions and what I feel and how to be curious about that. I'm not sure for Anne. I think she's great at answering the question herself. So I will send it to Marsh.
True. um, I think currently because I'm resonating with Anne a lot, so then that part of my personality is more like present to me. So I think what I would like to be asked is like, what are my perspective on something, but not out of like, it needs to be out of like because they admire and feel like my opinion is valid. Like they're like, like you're the person I go to because you know your shit type type of, like what are your thoughts on it? I would appreciate that. And then not really asking me how I feel because it's hard to like talk about how I feel. So then if you ask my thoughts on it, then maybe you can decode it through that, if that makes sense. But that's kind of how I'm feeling right now.
Interesting. How about you, Jake? Did you want to answer that?
Sure. I don't really question the premise of questions I receive. I just answer them. What do I want people to ask me? Why I like particular things. Why I don't like particular things. So, oh, you like Digimon. Why do you like Digimon? Oh, you really don't like, I don't know, the color periwinkle. Oh, why don't you like that? I don't know, just space to talk about the things I enjoy or don't enjoy.
Hmm.
Or like a show, like why do you like Breaking Bad? Cool. We are hella over in time though, so I'm gonna pause. Cool. So that's it. I guess that's it. Only one question. If there was more, we'll answer them next time. There wasn't any more. Cool. All right, chat. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Thank you for watching. Again, if you'd like to join a support group similar to this, you can join us through our website, questoflife.org. And if you'd like to support us with our mission, please consider donating and or volunteering. You can also do that via our website so that we can run more free groups for more people. Thanks.